Hello and welcome again to Arguyles D&D Rant vlog, whatever. This is the number 3 one, and we wrapped up the module that I was running, which is called Bad Light, and it is designed by Owen K.C. Steffens, and it is made for 4th level players. Yeah, the party was 2nd level, but they're Gestalt, which means they're significantly higher power than 2nd level characters. So I figured this would probably be a good challenge. And after totaling it up, I caused them to expend about 75–80% of their resources, including player life. Um, so it was a little heavy for them, and I should have cut back the last 2 encounters by a couple of goblins. But live and learn. Um, it was actually a pretty good session. Ran a lot long. Um, we lost 2 players throughout the course of the game, but we didn't lose them until the last encounter. So really, it was that last they just finally ran out of gas. Um, Most unfortunate. Uh, anyway, so last week we left off with them at the base of the tower. And they entered the tower, and the first encounter they ran into a Grick. You can find them in the Monster Manual 1. And it attacked the mage, the wizard, sorcerer, my apologies, and just rolled poorly, couldn't get a hand on him, and they got away. The party jumped it and cleaned it out really quickly. Um, uh, the second floor, they ran into basically kind of the boss encounter. Um, it's kind of written so that you can skip floors if you want to, or just go straight up and down. And if you go straight up and down, you kind of hit the encounters at a funny angle. Um, so they went from they just almost they hit the hardest encounter, I suppose, is second, and that was this green hag, and that was that was the hardest encounter for them. Was just its sheer number of hit points made it hard for them to bring down, and it didn't give up the doorway, which made it very difficult because it had AC 25 because they fought it through a doorway. Um, so that was pretty absurd for them to try and bring down, but they did. And then the rest of it proceeded pretty easily. They moved up to the next level and fought the Barghest, and they just raffle stomped him and moved up. And then they moved into the next, moved up to the roof and mopped the floor with the goblins. But they were starting to feel it. Ran out of spells, ran out of they didn't stop to identify the potions. I think if they had stopped and checked the potions, they probably would have been all right because they had 5 of them, and they only used like 2. Um, the Clersator did a very good job of RPing his impatient when they got to the roof, because there was a trap door there to get up to the roof, and the party sat around to discuss it. Hey, do we go up? Do we sit around? How do we want to do this? And he just said, "Fuck it," and took off. And I thought that was great for absolute playing somebody who's impatient. Um, they had a pretty interesting strategy for dealing with the goblins on the roof. They were just kind of throwing them off when they could. Either stab it. If you can't stab it, throw it off. They almost had a player fall off, but he didn't. He saved himself with a dex check. So, um, you got close though, very close to death from fall damage. And then the last encounter was the way that the encounter reads is there's a lighthouse, and somebody set up a false lighthouse a couple of miles down the way so that ships would smash into reefs, and then they could collect their goods and sell them. So you go into the lighthouse and you clean out the bad guys, and then you you get a map, I guess. I wrote in the map because how the hell are you supposed to know there's a fake lighthouse that's never anywhere in it's a big oversight in the module is there's just nothing to tell you that hey, there's a fake light out there somewhere. So I had a map drop at random, and so they went out to the fake light and started fighting, and it cost two players their lives. And I don't like killing people, but what am I gonna do? You just ran out of hit points, couldn't take it anymore. Um, so the bard died and the psychic warrior died. The bard, I'm less worried about killing him, because one, he's an experienced player and he understands how to take character death. Um, but the psychic warrior, I felt really bad about killing him, but I couldn't step away from the easy opportunity kill, so I had to take it. Uh, he failed and fell on his face, um, and he looked like he was gonna make it out after all, but the spearman ran over and jammed him with the spear for max damage, and that was the end of that. Um, and I feel bad about killing him because it's just, that was his first character. Period. Uh, you want to encourage new people. That's what I've always thought, is that new people should be encouraged, and a little bit of that encouragement is trying to pull punches and whatnot. But I didn't have a DM screen today, so I couldn't just lie and say I hit him for less. And I was just rolling really well, which sucked, because I was like, against the Clairsator, like 5 attacks in a row, I dropped a nat 20 at him, and natural 20 on the die is, with any weapon, is a critical hit. But we play with the you need to roll to confirm variant, so he gets out of a lot of criticals that way because he has just stupid high armor class. Um, so, I'd have a lot of things that just guarantee hit him, but not manage to crit. But with him just being the Clairsator, he just stops so much damage, and the armor's DR variant means that he gets hit a lot and whatever, but you take a D6 weapon and you're really only ever gonna hit for about max of damage of 4, unless you get a real crit, and then you'll hit for some real numbers. Otherwise, not so much. Yeah, I felt bad about killing him. I don't really have a whole lot else to talk about. I'm getting a better handle on bardic knowledge, although now it's not really all that amazingly important. Things to look forward to. I think next week we'll be wrapping up the rogue storyline, or at least starting that angle of wrapping it up. And I think I might have a plot point spring off from the character's actions here, with cleaning this out. I can't let too much go because the players watch the videos, so what they did today will come back to them. I just don't know how long it's going to take. Let's see, what else? In the next level, they just hit level 3. They should start seeing martial maneuvers being used against them a little bit. At level 5, the situations are going to become extremely lethal. And I think it's 7 to 9, they'll start seeing Gestalt characters popping up against them. So the power balance will shift back into being scary, and characters fearing for their lives pretty soon here. And I think it should be pretty exciting. Tonight's video is pretty dead, but it is 8 in the morning after the session, so I'm pretty beat. Hopefully the next video will be better, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.